Hi, my name is Kyle Morris, and I am the swing instructor for Keldon Fukunaga. And this video is for his college recruiting coaches, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight coming from the swing instructor side as to the potential that Keldon has, and how, in my opinion, I think he's kind of a diamond in the rough, so to speak, because of the fact that um, playing out on tour for 7 years, I saw a lot of guys and I saw a lot of talent. And Keldon has a huge, huge upside in regards to how good he can really become. I think he's going to be one of those guys that just continues to grow as a player, and as the swing mechanics and everything just continue to get tighter. Building a swing that has the maximum amount of time for the minimum amount of compensation rather than the maximum amount of compensation and minimum amount of time. He's just going to continue to grow. So, I think I started seeing Keldon maybe around the first week of July or so. So this is about the second or third lesson on the left. So there were some changes in regards to what we had done. But one thing that Keldon continues to struggle with and just is working through is the fact of trying to get his hands. He's getting his hands much deeper now, which is good, because he used to have his hands back in July at this frame. His hands would be up there, and then they would immediately rise, putting his hands up in this area here at the top. So Keldon, we're just continuing to try to get him to feel like his hands are a little bit deeper, to have his hands on plane, and then to have his hands then start to work, up towards the middle of his back, and then his left arm to be 90 degrees to his spine. So as you can see here at the top, he's starting to kind of lift where his hands will get a little bit too high. And this was kind of the swing that Keldon has been using for the last few years, and it's shot a lot of good scores, and it's won a lot of high school events, and it's done very well on the junior amateur circuit here in the summer. But with his hands being this high, it was just making it very, very steep coming down, where you could see his swing plane was roughly 66 degrees. He was hitting down on it 5 degrees. His club path was -2. And Keldon and I are continuing to work to try to have a shot pattern that starts a little bit right, draws back, but it never over curves the line. So it's kind of like a bowler who's bowling a curve. He's gonna bowl curves, and as long as that bowling ball doesn't curve past that front bowling pin, he can get a strike. But the second that ball curves past that pin, he can't get a strike. So on this left video, you're going to see his hands are going to be a little bit too high, and it's just going to get a little bit steep coming down. But at the same time, he generates a ton of club head speed. I mean, this is a 6-iron with and he's swinging it at 97 miles an hour, which is about 6 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour faster than the PGA Tour player. So for Keldon to hit a 6-iron roughly 200 yards, 210 yards is not overly difficult for him. So what him and I have been trying to do is we're trying to the first goal was trying to continue to get his hands to be a little bit deeper at the top, so that they would therefore be set in a proper position that they could attack the ball. So I've got some noodles here, and what I've got set up is this is on his hand plane line, so that he can't run his hands out, and then I'm kind of standing back here to kind of work on the shortening of the swing. So these numbers are a little more exaggerated than we're trying to get to. We're trying to have his club path number be right around 3 degrees or so, and then have the face angle be half of that. But this is kind of what we're working towards, where his hands are getting depth. And now you can see at the top, his left arm is 90 degrees to his spine, therefore putting his hands just off the back side of his heel, because from here you can see the club is perfectly on plane, and now his hands can take a beeline to the ball. So his hands are going to take a beeline to the ball. The club shaft's going to go right through his right forearm, come right down on plane. Now you can see his hand path is going to go right through the tunnel, through the ball. And one thing about Keldon to know is you can see here at impact that his shaft plane and his forearms are all one line. yet his swing plane number has dropped to 60.9, which is the same exact number as the PGA Tour average. And his attack angle is -2. And his club path is a little bit more to the right than we want, but it's still perfect at 6.2. Now, he's swinging a little bit slower here, but it's simply because of the fact that, we've got some of the stuff that we're kind of working on. So, for him to still swing this way and swing it at 95, 96, 97 miles an hour is no problem. But like I was saying, you can see his shaft plane is one line with his arms, which is essentially saying and showing us that Keldon's hands have reached about max velocity coming down, that they are going as fast as they can because the club is straight lining itself. Um, and they're going right through the tunnel there. So then you can see he's going to exit right back through that plane line. And then you can see that this club is exiting right on that same line at the top that his hands were. So that golf swing is kind of like Iron Byron, the machine in New Jersey. So essentially, Keldon is swinging it like a robot here, which, Iron Byron's the only thing in the world that ever has to hit it in the same exact spot every time, which is probably why they have to readjust and re-sod the surface that his balls hit all the time. So just wanted to show this and just show the beautiful golf swing that Keldon has, and what he's working towards. He's starting to really get this, and it's not very uncomfortable for him to do that. And he's had a great fall season here in high school sports, and then over the course of this winter, with us working together, it'll be absolutely amazing how good this guy's going to be come next summer. So definitely a guy that can help your team. Great team player, has an awesome attitude. Really, really great guy to be around. So wish him nothing but the best, and think he'd be great to help your college program.